Hello, good morning. I was on my way out to do some yoga in the garden there, and this beautiful cyclamen on the windowsill, which you can't see, caught my attention. I love when cyclamen continue to flower year after year with no fertilizer or anything. And so this is one I've had for a long time, and it's just burst into this beautiful upward flame of pink. And I thought, look, I'm set up outside there. I've got my yoga mat. You can't see it. It's an awful mess in the garden. Anyway, I've got my yoga mat ready, and I was going to do that, but I thought this can be my yoga for a while first. And hopefully Maisie will play ball and not interrupt us. Alright, I don't have all the materials I would normally have to hand, but I thought I need to kind of seize the day with this a little bit. And I'm hoping that this Liquitex will operate as a glue, because my PVA glue is no more. I can't open the top even, so I ordered it, but it was out of stock, and when the package arrived it didn't come. Okay, so there's something about the hopeful quality of these beautiful pink flowers that gets me every time in the heart, and I think there's something about the leaves being kind of celebrating the flower almost, they're like dancing underneath. Anyway, that's what I love about it. So I've put some of that Liquitex onto the green paper here, and just gonna place this down. And I'm using the back of the acrylic primed paper again. I really like it. It's card really, and it's my first time using it. It's great, because I used to prime all my own paper for the workshops, and actually this is a lot less labor intensive. Okay, so that's something for the position of the leaves. I'm not sure if I like that. I think I do for the jug. It's like I like it turned that way. So I'm going to take the top off. It's just an iron. What's it? Yeah, it's a metal jug. It's one of these. I got it from my friend Joyce. If you're watching, thank you, Joyce. I've appreciated it. It's got a hole in the bottom, so it's so the flower. When I do put a vase of flowers in, I put them in a jar, and it just displays them really nicely. The thing about Maisie's eating that blanket. Sorry, I'm just gonna go and come back in 1 second. She does this every day. This way, Maisie. Come on. Okay, I just took it away from her. Right. The thing I like about that jug is that it's longer this way, and so this isn't really getting it, but I'm thinking I could maybe supplement it with some Payne's Grey. I forgot to put out my water as well. Got some water and brushes by the sink here. As you can see, there's 101 things to be done aside from painting, but also there's nothing else to be done aside from painting in my view at the moment. That's in the artist's way. It says don't feel like you've done a great thing if you've done the washing up when there was a painting in your heart, Okay. Okay, so that's the rough position of the jug. I could also use an oil pastel, maybe with my left hand actually, to kind of re-establish that jug shape. These are painted stones. It's a bit distracting just now. I don't want it to be in front. Smooth on. in front of the jug. I'm using my left hand because it just means I'm not in control of of the character of the line. It has its own voice then. And standing back often, of course. I'm going to continue with my left hand here, and I could also bring in actually maybe some ink. That side is a bit lighter. Just use the white ink there. Anyway, I don't want to get too pernickety at this stage about explaining the jug when it's really this that's making my heart sing. Alright. I could do with some kitchen paper to put on this, I think this ink, the fluorescent acrylic ink, is maybe the only thing for it today. Now I'm looking for something I could use to put it on. Kitchen paper's in the living room. Yeah, I'm sorry for the shaky screen now. Thank God for a long mic though. I just went and got it. You can still see the cyclamen as well, that's good. Okay, so I'm just going to put this glorious pink onto the kitchen paper. Because if I put it on the paper directly, it's a little bit too runny and it just might pull away the colour with it. In actual fact now, you know, it needs to be placed on white, but actually the petals come down into the leaf shape a bit. In fact, they're there. So what I could do there is to find some white paper. There's a little bit here. Find some white paper and put a dollop of my pink. I'm putting the pink onto the paper. I really want to soak it. I love that pink colour. You can see how it reads as the cyclamen. Okay, and the thumbprint is kind of quite good, really. Okay, I'll put it there. I know the paper is a bit crude, but I can hopefully what I can do is when it's a bit drier, which might happen soon with any luck, I'll be able to find it with something else that will allow me to capture the edge of the delicate flower shape. Otherwise I can just take it off again. So that's it so far. Right, what am I doing now? This is sap green. I'll put it on some watercolour paper as my make-do palette. And I'm going to use the sap green. You know, it's actually hooker's green. Yeah, it's darker, which is better for me because cyclamen leaves are that little bit darker. And I'm going to put a touch of blue into that green to make it even darker again. Yeah, the Windsor Blue might work here. So this is the Windsor Blue. You can't probably see it at all. There, that's the Windsor Blue. And it just gives it a deeper tone. I mean, really, I could put some red in as well to cancel out the colourfulness, but maybe it'll be okay. Quite dark as it meets the... I'm just going to half close my eyes and use a little bit on the underside of that leaf there as well. And then there's the two leaves that are up. And very much a supporting role to the flowers there. Okay. And I think maybe even this green is kind of in order. It's not that green at all, is it? I think it's more a yellowy green. I'll just feed that into it and it'll read more. I'll just let it, this leaf, the heart shape of the leaves moves beyond the edge. It's all a bit, you know, chaotic, but that's okay. Just putting on some of this tallow green.
that's not the colour at all there now. So I've just spotted a yellow oil pastel that I think will allow me to knock that, to give that more of a yellowish tone. Yeah, I could tear it off a little bit too. The reason I just leave the straight edges on the paper is because it gives me something to respond to, something to, you know, like something to push up against in order to find what's there. Okay, I'm going to use the oil pastel and the straight edge because I want to give an edge to this. Oh, amazing, honestly. Usually I do yoga and meditation and she just sits quietly beside me in the morning. But this is a different thing now I've decided to do. As is my want, isn't that what they say? I'm going to put some Payne's Grey on this paper now, mixing it with a lot of hopefully clean water. I'll just bring it up to meet that so that we've got something that describes the background. So that's okay. No, I don't know why, but I want to put some there as well. Hey, come here. Come here. Maisie. Alright, I thought what I could use there for the shaping of the flower. Well, I've got some nice pink actually. I was thinking I would use just a white oil pastel if I could find it to draw in. Maybe I'll begin with this lovely bright, well, it's not that bright, it's in relation to the fluorescent pink, this chalk. It's kind of a Conte square chalk, you know, those hard edged ones. Oh. If you've got dogs now, your dogs are probably going a bit nuts as well, are they? Maisie was 1 year old yesterday. God bless her and God bless us for weathering the storm of the past year. At times it's been mostly wonderful, in fairness. Well, wonderful is a bit of a stretch. But we managed. And I'll use the brighter oil pastel pink, I think. Oh, there, it's lifted it all together. Why don't I lift it off and just place down a nice clean petal sized piece. I think that'll be okay. Oh, Maisie. Okay. What's this like? It's tricky to find pink that's really pink enough. Now that I've found my fluorescent, I could just stain that petal a little bit more. I don't want it to run away down the page though. And just carve off that paper underneath. Oh, I'm losing that edge a bit now. I like this petal. Okay. I wonder what would be the business there now. I was thinking some white. No idea if this is going to resist or if it'll work. Oh, it's kind of working. So far so good. I just want to kind of carve out the upward character of this lovely cyclamen. And actually it's quite nice to find the shapes between the leaves as well of the brighter background in the garden. It's not white, but It's just working for me to use white for this just now. Let me see. Of course, standing back often is a good idea as well. So rather than continue with that white oil pastel everywhere, I've picked up the chalk, which might be slightly less. I need more leaf there. Actually, the leaf isn't spread out as much as it should. There. Use my non-dominant hand to draw that again, so that I don't become contrived with it and make it too particular. And the other leaf goes up in there. So you see, I didn't want to draw into the small leaf shape because it was just not, it would have been reducing it further. I listened to a very beautiful talk my friend Jackie sent me yesterday by a guy called David Abrams, maybe. He speaks about how the alphabet has reduced our way of being in the world. It's a beautiful talk. It's kind of difficult to explain it in a few words. It just talks about how we are of the earth, really, and that's our language, you know, and we can relearn it. Rather than, and he's a beautiful writer, so he's not saying writing is a bad thing, but just how it's abstracted the abstracted language has taken us one step away. It's like a magic. It's taken us a step away from the connection, communion with the natural world. It's a lovely talk. I'll put it in the link below. Actually, I put the link in the description below. You might have noticed I've kind of been a bit remiss about putting my own information in there recently. My main thing is kind of doing the work, you know, or that's where I want my energy to be used, is in actually making the paintings, being creative itself. And my creativity is best expressed in this kind of playfulness. It's as I discovered at the weekend, definitely not expressed through iMovie. And this now is a shout out to Jim McIntosh, who actually did use iMovie to edit one of the videos that I made. A very long video that was made of me, actually. And I just have a huge new appreciation for him for sticking with that blessed iMovie app. Some people must love it, but my God, it didn't work for me. Anyway, this is all to say that the descriptions being missing recently have been because I've been prioritizing. Full stop. Prioritizing, you know, the way life and swimming and mental health, really, and just communicating with my children as much as I can. All of that stuff took priority over writing the description of things in the link below. I don't know if anyone reads it anyway, but basically, if you want to have any information, I do answer emails most of the time. So if you did want to get in touch about any classes or anything, do it that way. Okay. And I am doing a summer school here in near Edinburgh on the 24th of August for a week. We've got a marquee in the gardens at Cockenzie House, where my studio is, where my other studio is. And I'm going to, I've got 5 folk coming, and I'm limiting it to 8 people, so if you did want to come, let me know. Right. What's that? Oh, so this is still chalk. Maybe the white ink again, we'll do the shiny handle. And even the shine on the jug there might be better expressed with ink, seeing as the white has been used for the background. Let me just stand back and assess the situation here. I think some big thing needs to occur. Maybe a bit more clarity in the leaf shapes. My eyes half closed. I just feel like I want to maybe make more of these darker leaves, and the runniness coming in is a new. It's a new mark, a new bringing new variety to the surface, which is always well, it is. Yeah, I think it's always good to surprise yourself with the surface and keep yourself inspired by the surface you're painting on. And really, I could do now with some yellow into that colour to give me the lighter leaves. I just felt there was too many bits and pieces, and the dancing bits and pieces of the flowers are the ones I want to be focusing on actually. A little bit more water in there. Oh my goodness, well, didn't expect it to have that much on it. And of course I don't want my lovely pink flowers to have green all over them. But still they're holding their own. Now let's see what that did. I think that's okay. It's anchoring down everything, pulling it away. And I'm going to pull this away if I can. No, I can't. So what I'm doing is getting the white acrylic paint. I wanted to say the business of walking away halfway through is it's a really good one, I think. You know, Erin's been using the acrylics, and I think maybe she didn't put back the white. I can't see it anyway. Don't know where the white has gone. That's what you get for leaving your paint in the living room. You know, she ended up getting an A in her art exam. She did very well with that. Fair play to her. The thing I could do is put some sorry about this now, guys. The thing I could do is put some torn white paper. Oh dearie me. I just feel like I'm not seeing it. Anyway, remember I had to order that there recently. But what I thought I could maybe do is put some torn white paper there, yeah. And just improvise. Okay. That's Cindy singing in the background again, if you can hear her. No, I think I'll be wanting to use an ink, stick dipped into ink to describe. Stick dipped into ink to, you know, make sense of these last bits. And I have got pencil. I think I'll use the white ink to continue this outline here. Oh dearie me. You know, this white is actually needing a shake because it's pretty much like water now. I'm not sure I want any more rapid fire stuff, you know. But let me just continue with that idea. I thought of doing something like this around that particular leaf. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's blending. I wouldn't have wanted it to, but I can just do that. Okay, what was I going to do there now? Stick dipped into ink, possibly. I'm not sure about it being black ink, but sure, I'll try it. I think actually the Ultramarine Blue is so this is the ink De La Rowney System 3, and that's Ultramarine Blue, but it's a very, it's gorgeous actually. I'll just show you the colour of it. See, isn't that lovely? I might go be brave and use that colour on a wall in the house sometime. You would imagine that I would have done that ages ago because I love colour, but there's something in me that feels like I need to be sensible with colours on the walls, and for goodness sake. That's another thing from the Artist's Way. She says, why don't you, what's your favourite colour? Paint your room in that colour. Maybe it would no longer be your favourite colour if you were seeing it every single day. Oh my goodness. No wonder this isn't very blue. It's got pigment stuck at the bottom. The actual ink coming out wasn't very blue there. Okay, now I'm backlit here, so it's kind of a bit difficult for me to really see everything, which mightn't be a bad thing either. I think we do often see too much information and end up feeling we have to work to pull apart or to kind of explain away, or as someone said, paint the life out of a thing. So there is something, I think, in capturing as much just enough. It's been my lifelong kind of urge. It's just to find that edge that's dancing between mystery and fact or truth. Like Matisse, I love what Matisse says, exactitude is not truth. So this kind of, that doesn't pull me, that desire to explain things away fully doesn't really attract me, although I can appreciate when people manage that. The skill is incredible, but it's more appealing to me to feel into the character of the thing, and so far as I can draw out something of that. And I'm grateful that it's that I have the opportunity here to do that in this life. It's good. It's something about beauty. I think it's about observing beauty. Our natural response to that is love, and like something that generates a feeling of love in us is so like my heart is kind of pulsing with the thought of that. Something that generates a feeling of love in us is not to be undervalued. It's kind of missing, I think, often in our modern culture. It doesn't take long for you to find something beautiful though, and like Matt Haig says in his book Reasons to Stay Alive, find something beautiful in every moment, like a beautiful face, even a beautiful smile, a beautiful cloud formation. When we look, I reckon we do find still very beautiful, a very beautiful display for our day. Oh, I say that. I mean, I had some days there I find it very hard to even, to have any sort of positive perception of things. That's something that David talks about in that link I'm putting below the video, is our perceptions being key. Now that needs a little bit more green, that leaf. Up to the edge of the blue there. And there's something about this colour that I love. That's not at all like the green in the background. So it's more maybe for the edges of the leaves that I might use it here. the light falling on the cyclamen leaves has something of that character, I think. Yeah, we're getting, this, I was going to say getting stuck, but that's not true. There's a kind of a lost and found, I think, a spiralling in, spiralling out that happens, and it kind of calls for clarity then again. So like Francis Bacon said, I love to have order in my work, but for it to come about through chaos. Isn't that lovely? I get it, And apparently I really love to know that he had a very messy studio, and look what he managed to make. I don't think he meant that the chaos on the floor helped, but, well, maybe it did. Maybe not being too concerned about it. I'm holding the pencil down the way now so that the ink that I've picked up at the end of it is flowing in that direction, because this surface isn't necessarily a great surface for applying ink. It's not, as you know from all the stuff I've put on it there now, it's got a texture to it, so the landscape is bumpy. But I'm twisting the stick as I'm drawing with it, and it still has a bit of a flow. I just felt like there needed to be some connective tissue between all of these leaves, and I think the black Indian ink, while it might seem very dominant, is the thing that I needed there. Just that thin organic that's too dark there. That thin and the organic way that it kind of undulates from the stick, it's like it kind of makes its own rough path through. It makes its own rough path through here. I'm sending out the information on my watercolour online course today to the lovely people who've signed up and have been bearing with me for week 1 to begin. If you're one of those people, thank you for your patience. It's hopefully going to be worth the wait. I certainly feel it needed to have all the things that I've put in, whether everybody uses all of them or not. I just, for my own benefit, wanted to be sure that I was offering everything I've moved to. So yesterday I went to the reservoir with my friend John and recorded some 5 rhythms movement. He went through the 5 rhythms, and that's one of the things that I was it's just a quick 5-minute video, but I wanted to encourage people not to just get on with painting, but to actually really tend to the physical body, and from there, who knows what'll happen. You'll really come with your own voice then. When you allow your body to move, something is loosened in you that speaks from beyond this world, I reckon. The worldness, I don't know if that's, you know what I mean. Like you end up, something is released that just carries you along. You don't have to be in control of that response. It's a single step is all. Each single step will take you on a magical adventure. Magical, like beautifully satisfying adventure, I would say. Each step through the painting, because it's unknown. Every little thing leads you on to something else. And it's I've recognized that, like, I haven't been able to hold on to that. It's not something to hold on to, although it is something to honor when it does arrive, and just, although it's very beautiful to do your best and to let it be and not grasp, but just see what it has to say this time. We end up kind of moving through life with that lovely connected feeling, and then this full separated. Sometimes this feeling is separation from everything and everyone. Okay, now so maybe some grey. This is actually white, but it reads as grey on here because it's not a very bright white. I'm just standing back and considering here what really is asking to be looked at. And I feel like it's the division between the top of the jug and the plants above it. I don't really want to use the ink again for that. I feel that maybe this will work. It's the oil pastel that I actually used for this as well, but I think it might be okay here. I'm just changing the shape of the top of the jug a little so that it has more of that upward sweep, and then I can fit in you know, I think it might be Payne's grey. I thought I had it to hand, that's why I was going to use it, but don't see it here now. I forget what I was going to, oh yeah, the dark. I need something dark to work inside here. I'm going to go with this colour. I didn't want to use the ink because the ink is describing the flowers, so something different is what I want to use. So I'm using a burnt umber acrylic on my finger here. It'll be a different dark, and if it's not dark enough, which I don't think it is, then I could maybe introduce the ink with it. I want it to sit back there and let the leaves have their character of how they unfold over. The main thing here, to be honest, is I don't know. At every step, the kind of willingness to not know seems key here. Every time I try and say something about it, I feel like I'm beginning to sound as though I know, and I don't know. Maybe here too. Yeah, it just needed to be darker. It didn't need to be brown darker, so I'm going to put green over it. And then I'll be learning all the time when to stop. Like Leonardo said, a painting is never finished, it's abandoned. I wonder if he really did say that, but it sounds like a good thing to repeat. It's, again, the kind of not holding on to something. There we are. And it being made for the sake of itself rather than any particular outcome that you have in mind for yourself. Which kind of makes the whole idea that we're making a living from painting and stuff, it kind of, yeah, it's a different energy comes on you when you're making a picture because you want to sell it. Although I will be, I think, having a studio sale, a Facebook sale, studio sale, artist pledge thing soon, because I've got a huge pile of paintings just recently made, especially the flowers. There's loads of them, and landscape actually. That's the white ink again, now just clarifying that edge. So if you want to hear about that, I've got a newsletter where I advertise my work and different things like that, workshops, and so email me if you want to be put on that list. I like selling work on Facebook like that. I know maybe some people, maybe some artists find that, I wondered whether it would undervalue the work selling, but it's just, it makes sense if I'm selling a lot. It makes sense to me to do it. It's the volume rather than, so it's quite a bit of work and framing and delivering and all of the rest of it that comes with selling in, in actual places. although I've really valued all the galleries that have shown my work, and they're lovely. Anyway, these are sketches anyway, and things, you know, there are pieces put together that people maybe like, without me having to create an exhibition of paintings of them. A wall exhibition. No. So yeah, watch this space. I feel like the month of August is a month where I'm going to clear out things a little bit. Maybe, let's see. It's white chalk again. Something about those gaps, and, you know, I can't get them because I've left I think the white oil pastels in this box. No. Here. That was a bag, wasn't it? Yeah, I think the white oil pastel might be in this box. The one I really like, that's really does the covers really well, the Caran d'Ache one. That looks like it. Because I want to clarify the little bits of sunlight poking through between things with a nice clean bright white light that's going to work. Just clean up some edges. As in, give elegance to the arc here by finding the background brightness. Down here. I had the most glorious swim yesterday at the reservoir. Oh, it was beautiful. It was like a mirror with the sky, all, you know, reflecting light everywhere. So lovely. It's like the full sensory experience there. Gone on and on here now, and actually I could just stop. I want to just place a tiny touch more of that collage onto the jug. Seems to me to be a good shape for the bottom of it. I think that's okay. And I did find the Payne's Grey. Oh, it is actually still. This is one of the last moves now that I do. Maybe Payne's Grey with this Wedgwood blue will give me a colour that'll bridge that gap. We'll see. I think white is a little bit. I think I need to put something in there. Not that it all needs to be filled in or anything, but just get some clean water. Mm-hmm. You know, I think I might stop. Famous last words on you. I might stop. Mm-hmm. Where is the white oil pastel gone again? Deary me. Well, this is a different one, but it'll have to do. It's just that gap, that straight line was bothering me there a little bit. Alright, I think I'll just stop there. You know, when you're gone, there's a small chance I'll do something a little bit more in the flower. And if I do, I'll put it as the icon on the video. Yeah, it's good to play with you this morning. Yeah, that was really fun. I'm glad that I did do that, even although Maisie tore up the blanket as I was doing it. She's sitting on my yoga mat now. I'm going to just show you her. She's sitting on my yoga mat as though, and please excuse the state of the garden. Maisie, where are you? There. That grass needs cut, big time. Good girl, Maisie. You're not really, but anyway. Okay, see you soon. There is the cyclamen. That was fun. See you soon. Bye.